Hi superstars! In today's course, we'll be talking about how to start plantain business with less than 30,000 naira in Nigeria. Plantain is one food product that is highly consumed by people. It has a very high market demand and very few people to meet the supply. Plantain is consumed by everyone, including kids, especially kids that love plantain with fried plantain with egg and all that. Personally, I have a sister who would eat plantain and egg for the rest of her life without being tired. So, my superstars, there's a market for plantain. And we also have people with very special health needs, like people with diabetes who have need for plantain. They have need for plantain in the form of plantain flour, and they also have need for plantain to make plantain and boil plantain and eat with sauce and plantain pudding. So that alone forms a very large population of people who need plantain in Nigeria. But you know what, my superstars? So many people are focused on other food products like palm oil and other food products, leaving plantain. Very few people are into sourcing and selling plantain in local markets and all that, leaving a very huge gap for people. So my superstars, in this video, I'll be telling you everything you need to know about starting a profitable plantain business in Nigeria, including plantain value chain, how to reach your target market, who are your target market, and I'll also tell you markets in which you can get plantain at cheap and affordable rates in Nigeria. And by the end of this video, I'll also tell you things you should note so you don't run at a loss in the course of trading plantain, because plantain is very, very perishable. So there are things you need to look out for in order not to run at a loss in plantain business. Okay, my superstars. All right, let's delve in. So plantain is one food product that is very, very valuable. In my state, Akwa Ibom State, I know that there are some places you walk to buy plantain and you see like 5 fingers of plantain for 500 naira, or 5 fingers of plantain for even 1,000 naira, or let's say 6 fingers for 1,000 naira. So I also know that in other states like Lagos, Abuja, plantain is quite expensive. So that's because there's a high demand for plantain, which with very few suppliers. We have very few people who are into supply of plantain. Okay, so now let's talk about the value chain of plantain. In plantain value chain, we have the plantain farmers, and from the plantain farmers, you have the village market sellers. And from the village market sellers, you have the wholesalers, and from wholesalers you have retailers, and from retailers you have the end users and processors. Okay, so I know you're like wondering, why do I need to know this? Yes, you need to know this because this will determine where you will be sourcing for your plantain for buying and reselling. If you're going into plantain business, you need to know this value chain. And if you're going into plantain business, the best place you need to get your plantain, source for your plantain from, is the farmers. If you can source for plantain from farmers, it is less expensive as it goes down the value chain from the farmers to the wholesalers, from the farmers to the market sellers, to the wholesalers, to the retailers, to the users and processors. It gets more expensive. So if you must make maximum profit in plantain business, then you need to target the farmers. If you can't know the farm in which plantain can be bought, if you don't know a farmer in which you can buy from, then your next target should be the local market sellers. If you want to sell, then the next bet is the local market sellers. My superstars, these local market sellers sell very early in the morning. So if you must be in plantain business, you must be an early person. Some markets sell as early as 6 a.m. in the morning. Okay, so you need to go out very early in the morning to buy from the local market sellers. And you know what, my superstars? Even at the local market level, there are people who go very, very early and buy directly from those people and resell to the next person, and the next person resells to the next person. So if you're not early enough, you could buy from like the next fourth reseller in the local market. All this adds to the price. It increases the price, and if you're not careful, you could buy at a high price. So your target should be to buy from the first local market seller. All right, my superstars. I will be talking about your target market. You need to know, my superstars, that plantain is one food product that is of high demand. At the same time, it is highly perishable. So before starting a plantain business, you need to have a target market. You must have a place in which you'll be selling your plantain to. You must have someone you'll be selling to, or a company you'll be selling to. We have so many companies that process plantain into plantain chips, plantain flour. Okay, my superstar. So you need to know these companies ahead of time before starting your plantain business. If you need to walk to those companies and make contacts, and making sure that they have need for it, carry out inquiries and find out if you could supply plantain to them, how much you'll be making, okay, in kilos or whatever. Carry out your research. Okay, if it's a family you'll be selling to, find out if it's someone who processes plantain chips. Make links and have a target market in which you'll be selling your plantain to before buying your plantain. Okay, my superstars, it's very, very important that you have a target market in place, a place in which you'll be selling out your plantain after buying from your local market or from farmers, so you don't run at a loss. Okay, my superstars. Now we'll be talking about where to source for plantain to start your plantain business. All right, so I had done a video on a market survey, the biggest plantain market in Nigeria. My superstars, please go and check it out. Nevertheless, there are other markets in which you can source for your plantain to do plantain business. One of such markets is Ecom Market in Calabar, Cross River State. That market is known, they are known to be major planters of plantain plantations. They have huge plantain plantations in which plantain is harvested yearly. So if you are looking for ways to source for plantain, then one of your best bets is Ecom local government area in Cross River State. And my superstars, if you are based at Abuja and other places, it is closest to you to source for plantain. So many people use that route, come down there and get plantain in large quantities and transport them back to Abuja and its neighboring environment. Okay, my superstars, plantain, a bunch of plantain could go for as low as 2,000 naira, or at most 2,500 naira. And if you're in Abuja, you know what I mean when you buy a bunch at 2,000 naira, that a bunch of plantain could go for as high as 5,000 naira in Abuja or more. Okay, so it's a good place to source for plantain if you are in Abuja and its neighboring environment. Okay, my superstars. All right, the next place you can source for plantain is in Mile 2 Market in Lagos. If you're based in Lagos, then your best stop for plantain is Mile 2 Market in Lagos. That market has a lot of plantain. So my superstars, check it out. If you are close to Akwa Ibom and its environs, Then your best stop is Obonang Market in Ikolepene local government in Akwa Ibom State. That market is known to have lots of plantain. It's an early morning market, my superstars. So make carry out if you're looking for ways to start plantain or plantain processing and all that, then your best stop is Bonang Market. And we also have Afara Market in Ibesikbo local government area in Akwa Ibom State. If you're in Akwa Ibom State and you're thinking of starting plantain business, then you need to go very early and source for plantain. Plantain for people who were not buying in bulk was as low as 2,500 naira. So imagine you're buying in bulk, then you have wholesale prices like maybe 2,000 naira for a bunch, and then you could sell as high as 4,000 naira, 4,500 naira, depending on how big the bunch is. Okay, my superstars. So these are markets in which you can source for plantain in large quantities. Now I'll be talking about things you need to note if you are starting plantain business. You need to know that plantain is very perishable. So before delving in, you must have a market. And no matter how large the market is, you don't need to buy too much. Okay, you need to buy just enough. You could start with a dozen of plantain. A dozen of plantain at 2,500 will be 30,000 naira. But if you're buying in bulk, I'm sure you'll find out 2,000 naira for a good bunch of plantain. Okay, so a dozen could go for like 24,000 naira. Okay, my superstars. So you could start with a dozen of plantain and then you grow from there. As your market customer base increases, you can increase the quantity in which you buy. And my superstars, if you can get someone who processes plantain into plantain chips and plantain flour to supply plantain, better, because you will like make lots of money. So whatever happens, my superstars, start small in plantain so you don't run at a loss. No matter how cheap you see, no matter the large quantity you see at a cheap price, please don't be so overwhelmed that you buy a lot of quantity. If you buy so much and you don't have a large market, it will get destroyed. It will get overripe and you'll run at a loss. Okay, my superstars. All right. Okay, so my superstars, if there's anything I had failed to mention in the course of this video, please write it in the comment section. Okay, and if you have any question, please leave it in the comment section and I'll get right back to you. And if you have not subscribed, my superstars, please take a second to hit that subscribe button, like and share this video. Thank you. Until our next video, always and always remember that I love you. Mwah.